Good evening. My name is Shubham Chamyal. Today I am discuss about the topic people skills workplace behavior, which is the chapter of business communication. First of all, we discuss making a good first impression. The way you dress is the single biggest non-verbal communication you make about yourself. यानी कि जिस तरीके से हम ड्रेस होते हैं तो वो एक सबसे बड़ा नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन होता है हमारे बारे में. योर ड्रेस कन्वेज सक्सेस, ट्रस्ट वर्थीनेस, इंटेलिजेंस एंड सुटेबिलिटी. लीन टॉवर्ड्स द कंजर्वेटिव साइड ऑफ स्टाइल. अवॉइड लाउड कलर्स एंड प्रिंटेड फैब्रिक्स. मेक श्योर योर क्लोथ्स आर नाइसली प्रेस्ड. यानी कि हमें ड्रेस करते वक्त अवॉइड करने हैं लाउड कलर्स जो होते हैं और प्रिंटेड फैब्रिक्स जो होते हैं. रीड द डेफिनेशन बिलो एंड आंसर द क्वेश्चन. इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन इज ए two-way street. Many people make the mistake of thinking that communication is all about getting your point across. This is only half of the story. To be a good communicator, you also need to be a good listener. यानी कि एक गुड कम्युनिकेटर होने के लिए हमें गुड लिसनर भी होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. कॉर्पोरेशन इज़ द एक्ट ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग टुगेदर टू अचीव ए सिंगल गोल. This involves respecting the views of the other person even when you do not agree. Cooperation is also used to mean doing what someone tells you to do. Experts says that acknowledging what a person has said will help them feel good and make them more likely to listen to your viewpoint. Acknowledging का मतलब स्वीकार करना. यानी कि जब हम किसी पर्सन की बात को स्वीकार करते हैं तो एक तरीके से वो ज़्यादा लाइकली इंटरेस्टेड होता है हमारा व्यू पॉइंट सुनने के लिए. फॉलो ABC. ABC मीन्स एटीट्यूड प्लस बिहेवियर प्लस कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स. एक्टिविटी 1. लुक एट द एग्जाम्पल्स बिलो एंड सर्कल द करेक्ट वर्ड. आई रिकॉग्नाइज्ड, अप्रूव what you are saying and I understand your point. However, I can see that you feel strongly about this and it is important to you. Of course you want to go and I can see look how disappointed you are. Nevertheless, I know what you mean say when you express your concern about you are true right to be worried about this as it is important point, but you here sound very dissatisfied with the situation and I can imagine how you feel. Some samples. Introducing yourself in business. Vocabulary list. I am, my name is, it is nice to meet you too, I am from, nice to see you again. What does workplace culture means? It's how employees dress, talk, behave. Workplace situations, ethic and code of conduct. डू नॉट क्रिटिसाइज. यानी कि वर्क प्लेस सिचुएशन यानी कि जहाँ हम काम करते हैं वहाँ की जो जगह होती है उसे हम वर्क प्लेस बोलते हैं. और एथिक्स मतलब हमारे एक तरीके से विचार जो होते हैं. एंड कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट यानी कि हमारा जो आचरण होता है. सो वहाँ हमें किन बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए वर्क प्लेस में. डू नॉट क्रिटिसाइज. क्रिटिसाइज का मतलब है कि किसी की हमें निंदा नहीं करनी चाहिए. क्रिएटिंग एंड मेंटेनिंग गुड इम्प्रेशन. हमें एक गुड इम्प्रेशन बना के रखना चाहिए. मेंटेनिंग गुड रिलेशन विद देयर कलीग्स. गुड रिलेशन बना के रखने चाहिए हमें अपने साथ काम जो हमारे साथ कर रहे हैं उनके साथ. डू नॉट कमेंट ऑन पर्सनल लाइफ ऑफ कलीग्स. हमें कमेंट नहीं करना है पर्सनल लाइफ के बारे में जो हमारे साथ काम कर रहे हैं उनके बारे में. डू नॉट इंटरफेस एंड कंपेयर. डू नॉट ब्रेक ड्रेस कोड. डू नॉट डिस्कस योर फैमिली मैटर्स. प्रेज अदर्स. प्रेज का मतलब प्रशंसा करना एक तरीके से दूसरों की. कीप योर सेल्फ इन्फॉर्म्ड. एक्टिविटी 2. डिस्कस वाई वर्कप्लेस बिहेवियर इज इम्पॉर्टेंट. टाइम नीडेड 30 to 45 minutes. एम्स to help students understand that the right way to behave at work may be different to what is appropriate in other situations. For example, when with their peers. To help students identify behaviors that employers don't want to see and behaviors that will help them make the right impression, fit in and progress in their job. Key learning outcomes. By the end of an activity, student will know why it is important to behave in the right way at work and the impacts of good and bad behavior. Can identify differences between their everyday behavior and what an employer might expect. Can list some personal rules that will help them make the right impression. First, examine what workplace culture means. Ask if someone can explain some of the things that make up a workplace culture. Then click to reveal some aspects. Discuss why each one is important. Discuss why workplace behavior is important. Ask students to split into groups of 2 or 3 and then assign one question to each group. So at least 2 groups discuss each question. Ask students to discuss why an employer might think each issue is important and to think of an example of someone showing the right behavior and an example of the wrong behavior. Example: wrong behavior being late regularly, breaking world policy on internet usage. Good behavior: meeting deadlines, respecting others. Discuss how will the right behavior help them and the wrong behavior harm their career. After a few minutes, help each group share their ideas with the rest of the class. Think about examples of workplace scenarios. Give out a student sheet and assign one of the situations on the sheet to each group so at least 2 groups can discuss each situation. Ask students to identify how this behavior will affect the employer and the employee and to think of a better way to behave in this situation. Invite each group to share their ideas and briefly discuss each situation group. Fifth, students find ways to remember the right way to behave. Ask students to think of a set of personal rules or points to remember to help them behave in the right way at work. Groups can make notes on student sheet 1. The answer is that employers see this as important, but young people often don't realize this when they enter employment. Tips to help your own workplace behavior. Find out what's expected. Dress properly for the job. Respect other people. Pay attention. Accept the rules and understand why they exist. Be part of the team. Activity 3: Workplace behavior scenarios. Read the workplace situation and analysis. How will this affect the employer business? How might this affect the employee's career? Suggest the right way to behave and explain why. Read one situation and in your group discuss how your behavior will affect you and your employer. Discuss a better way to behave. Situation 1: It's a quiet day in your department and you have nothing to do for an hour. You are hanging around chatting with another young employee. A supervisor from another department sees you and asks you both to come and help her team complete an urgent job. Your friends tell the supervisor it's not your problem and turns his back to her. What will be your reaction to this? Your supervisor is giving a safety demonstration on how to use some new machinery. It's your birthday and you are in good mood. You keep getting texts and tweets from your friends. You have set your phone to vibrate so the supervisor won't hear. But you can't resist checking what everyone's saying to you. You are missing out on some vital advice. What should be the right reaction to this? You work in an office and there's a rule that employees can only use social networking sites during lunch or outside normal working hours. You have got a large spreadsheet to update by lunchtime, but you have spent the morning keeping in touch with friends instead. What should be the right reaction to this? How I can find out what expected to me on work experience? Ask before you start. Observe how people dress, talk, and behave, and practice copying them. Ask your buddy or mentor how they help new employees fit into their work culture. Ask questions about what count as good and bad behavior. In a new job, pay attention during training. Observe how people dress. talk and behave. Ask your manager or supervisor, they will appreciate your interest. How to say no? First, be clear of your vision. This is what you want to say yes to, everything else is equal to no. Second, know the implications of saying yes. The more you say yes, the further you drift from your vision. Third, realize saying no is okay. Fourth, use the medium you are most comfortable with: Facebook, IM, email, face to face, whatever works. Keep it simple. You don't owe anyone explanation. Sixth, be respectful, value the other party's stance. Provide an alternative only if you want to. Make yourself less accessible. Provide your contact only to those important to you. Write everything down first to process your thoughts. Delay your response. No need to reply right away. Sometimes no reply is also a form of reply. Teamwork. First, increased creativity. Second, strategic planning. Improved coordination and communication. Increased employee morale. Increased productivity. Higher quality decision. Some etiquettes to be followed. First, using the internet at work aims to help students understand what is appropriate to use the internet at work. To help students identify why companies keep track of internet and email traffic and the tools they use to do it. Key learning outcomes. By the end of the activity, a student will have compared how they might use the internet at work, reflected on why companies monitor email traffic and filter internet access. Activity steps. Using the internet at work. Introduce the sessions by explaining that you are going to look at how the internet is used in the workplace. You will also be looking at why the internet may be filtered and email monitored. Ask a student to make a list of how they think the internet may be used at work. Examples include researching candidates for a job, internet research, assessing email, using cloud-based service like Google Docs, Google Drive or Dropbox, video calls, example Skype, social networking in roles such as marketing or social media manager, downloading PDF file reports, creating website, blogging for marketing purpose.